Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the North Node unaspected in the natal chart. Now, some people may be somewhat apathetic about this, thinking that the North Node is of not much significance because it's not an actual planet, or it doesn't seem like it's a significant point like the midheaven or ascendant, but it is very important. I've experienced enough transits to know, or at least believe in my opinion, that it is pretty important in the natal horoscope. Now, a lot of you may know that the North Node is connected with our soul's mission and purpose, and it's what we generally at least attempt to emphasize and accentuate often in the latter part of our lives, say maybe after age 30 approximately. Now, if it's unaspected, and I apply this like I would for planets as well, that the energy can be somewhat uninhibited, unrestrained, and it could indicate somebody that can maybe very strongly pursue their mission, that objective that's connected with that soul's purpose very strongly, and perhaps with really a very little impediment or obstruction. However, on the other side of the coin, when you have a North Node unaspected in your natal horoscope, you don't have any you don't have the negative adverse aspects, which is really more about the obstruction and blockage, but you don't have the sextiles or trines either. And the sextiles and trines allow integration and more of an outlet for the North Node. Now, the North Node by itself, I mean, it does have its mission and purpose connected with the sign and house that it resides in. I think it's more significant by house placement. Some people will say by sign, but by sign, I believe it's around about 18 months on average, about a year and a half, that the North Node resides in a sign. So I think it's at least a little bit more important by house placement. And now, there's also transits, there's progressions that are involved, of course. So just because somebody has the North Node unaspected, it will find positive aspects through progressions and transits, but on the other side of the coin, we'll have adverse ones come this way as well through transits and progressions. Now, if you look at somebody has an unaspected North Node, it's important to look at the house more, I think, that it resides in as opposed to the sign. Now, like I have the North Node in Pisces in the 11th house. Now, I have aspects to it, but let's say if I didn't have any aspects to it, still there would be, it would indicate perhaps that being in the 11th house, it might indicate that I might pursue my mission and soul's purpose, may be strongly connected with friends, perhaps with groups. My aspirations would be very tied in, and being in Pisces, it could indicate perhaps some more connected with spiritual or metaphysical of nature in connection with the 11th house area, which could be friends and groups and acquaintances. And I think that's what I've kind of been emphasizing this latter part of my life. I think I've made some friends over the internet through my astrological videos. But if I had it unaspected, I might have even had a little, perhaps an easier time maybe attaining this North Node energy, because there would be no obstruction or there would be no blockage. But on the other side of the coin, another way of looking at this perhaps is that if you don't have any aspects, you don't have the positive ones either. And as I stated before, the outlets might not quite be there as readily this way, and it could show somebody that might kind of really put a lot of emphasis on that soul's mission and purpose, but may perhaps drift a little bit nomadically because they might not really they might not have really that outlet as strong as somebody that may have some sextiles and trines to it. But there is, even without aspects, there is still, you have that mission and purpose that's associated with the sign and the house the North Node resides in. So it's not the end of the world if somebody has an unaspected North Node. As I stated before, you do have progressions and you have transits, so you will have some positive aspects hitting you that way if your North Node in the rare occurrence happens to be unaspected. Now, I'll give you maybe one more example. Let's say somebody had the North Node in the 4th house unaspected. Now this could indicate somebody that would emphasize perhaps things of the 4th house, the home, the family, perhaps even some work connected with the 4th house, such as home renovation, restoration, or cleaning houses, perhaps real estate, agriculture, perhaps well, agriculture is not really the home, but that might not be the best example, but perhaps just things connected with the home one way or the other. And this person that would have it unaspected in the 4th may be able to attain this a little bit easier due to the fact it didn't have any aspects. Or this could be somebody that might perhaps do maybe different things in connection with this 4th, the North Node in the 4th energy, but may not really. Might take a little time to find that actual specific purpose. It doesn't mean they won't find something connected with the 4th house in sometime maybe after the age of 30 in their latter part of life, but maybe they may try multiple things in connection with the 4th house until they actually perhaps through progression or transits maybe get that sextile or trine that kind of helps them utilize that energy and find really that one particular thing that they really want to do that would be associated with the 4th house. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the North Node unaspected in the natal chart, and stay tuned next time where I'll be dissertating and talking about the South Node unaspected in the natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel, and secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.